Happy Wednesday, everybody. I just wanted to reach out in a video instead of trying to put this into words that I pre-chose. But I just want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes on Monday. It was really good to reconnect with a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. But I have to admit, it was a little bit difficult celebrating my birthday when we had all the challenges going on in Central Texas with all the flooding. And I'm a girl dad, so all those young ladies that lost their lives was a little heartbreaking for me. So in the midst of that, I spent the day working and hanging out with myself and reflecting on the life that I had, and being grateful for the fact that my daughter was home and safe and happy and cared for. And I just wanted to offer my prayers to those families that are struggling through this, and the friends and family that are struggling through this. I absolutely could not imagine. And in the midst of this, I reached out to one of my favorite people in the world, and she's up visiting her family in Dallas, and she was dealing with her recent loss, and not quite sure how the loss occurred, but the assumption or the obvious observation is potentially that the person took their own life. And I've experienced that in the last 12 months as well, and I know how challenging that is. And while we were on that call, I actually got a text message that we actually lost a dear friend of ours and a couple of her stepchildren in Leander. So it was a tough birthday. It's been a tough start to the week, but at the end of the day, we're all still here. And one of the things I think we often miss is that we have a responsibility to one another to care for and support and love on and encourage. And we don't often exercise that. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't mean that you have to empty your bank account. It doesn't mean that you have to give up your whole day or your whole week. It just means that you have to be cognizant of the fact that there are some people out there that are hurting, and just reach out and say hello, send a text message, send a joke, send a meme. And just be conscious of that. There's plenty of stuff on the internet that's going to be discouraging and disruptive. And, I couldn't imagine how someone could come up with something hateful about the young girls who lost their lives. But there are people who are coming up with that. And I just don't know where that comes from, other than the absence of God in their life. So keep in prayer, keep close. I turned 58 this year, which means that I have more life behind me than I have ahead of me, and I plan to be purposeful with that. You never know when you're going to see your friend or not see your friend again, so reach out to them, say hello. Same with your parents. As frustrating as it is that your parents have such divergent views about life compared to you, love on them. All they have is what they have. The experiences that they had have produced the results for them. Your children the same way. Have experiences with your children, have conversation with them that are tough. We have to teach them to have grit. They have to be able to do difficult things. And, I think a lot of kids are brought up in a household where we think we need to protect them from everything, and we don't. We need to support them in everything, and we need to explain to them how things work, and we need to prepare them to deal with difficult challenges. But we need them to do difficult things carefully and learn from that, because that's how we put better people in the world. And I will tell you, one of the things that most influenced my life was growing up in Japan. And I will tell you that international travel and travel as a whole is a great way for us to solve the multitude of problems that we have in this world. I think it's Mark Twain that said that it's hard to be a bigot with a full passport. But once again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you need someone to talk to, if you want to talk about sobriety, I'm here for you. I just celebrated 11 years on the 4th of July. But just want to thank you all. And I love you guys. And I really, really love some of you guys. And you know who you are. And I will be talking to most of you today.